Welcome to The Influence by Ikasi Creative. Hello everybody and welcome to The Influence by Ikasi Creative. My name is Ruth Dube and I will be your host for this podcast. I am in charge of social media and marketing at Ikasi and I am so excited for this podcast. And my highlight of the week would be listening to Love is Wicked by Brick and Lace this morning. It was very nostalgic and it made me feel incredible.
Morning, my name is Sipho Kutuka and I am in charge of admin. Basically, I'm an all-rounder. Sometimes I'm in funding, sometimes I'm in media, so you'll never know with me. My highlight of the week was going to the bank with my two favorite people and cashing those checks.
Yes, Sipho. Good morning, guys. My name is Matthew Kutsia, and I'm the project coordinator of something huge and special coming out soon, so keep that eyes and ears open. And my highlight of the week was actually yesterday. I tasted some very nice butter chicken and garlic naan.
Yes.
I'm still full, guys.
Why didn't you bring us some?
And off camera, we have Vuiseka, who is our detective for the show. She will be giving us all the info on everything we don't know, and we're very excited to have her as the detective. Hi, Vui.
Hi.
And then on BTS, we have Ndake, who is our administration and student liaison intern, and we are so excited to have her on BTS because she's doing an incredible job. Okay, we're gonna start this out with a round of rapid fire just to break the ice. This is our first podcast and I think everyone's feeling a little bit nervous. So first word that comes to mind when I say director, mine is Luca Guadagnino. Okay.
Instructions, strict.
You're feisty.
Oh, feisty
Feisty.
director. Yeah, I like that. Okay, first thing that comes to mind when you think of, a dog. Mine is Jack Russell because our producer for the podcast has two Jack Russells and I see them all the time when we come here and they're very beautiful, very cute dogs.
Needy. Dogs can be very needy.
Real.
And they take time to grow, guys.
Shame, the first thing that came to mind was Bruno.
Oh, yeah.
You don't talk about Bruno.
Who is Bruno? Please fill me
Yeah,
in.
Like, Bruno is like usually the name people would give their dogs.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm aware of Sporty.
Yes.
Okay.
We have Spotty, Bobby, and Bruno,
Bruno, yeah.
are the names, the
Correct.
three names. Yeah. Okay. And what comes to mind when I say the word industry?
Ooh, that one. Toxicity, creativity, open up the industry.
Oh.
Sure, colorful. I'm going to say colorful, very fast. Yeah.
And these are true qualities of the industry, film, television, and media that we all sort of work in and something that we know you as listeners also want to get into. So let's talk about what Sipho mentioned, open up the industry. This has been a trending hashtag for about 4 years in South Africa, open up the industry. And Sipho, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you've seen about open up the industry?
For me, what I've seen in open up the industry is that the barriers, there are restricted barriers to entry when it comes to open up the industry. It's hard to get jobs, especially for new talent or maybe, let's say, after or someone who's just completed their qualification in media. It's very difficult for them to enter the industry. People go on for auditions, maybe you go for 30 or more auditions and you still get a no.
Yeah, I know through, I'm also very fairly new in the industry, and I would say when I started out in the industry, I had people telling me network, build your networking, grab those contacts, connect with those contacts. Seeing that is the only way to get in your foot into the door, right? Ruth, I also know you are also in the industry. What's it like for you?
Yeah, so I studied film and television, and it has been my dream since forever to be a director. I was lucky enough to direct my own film that premiered at the Labia in March, which was incredible. And I think that's one of the things we talk about with Open Up the Industry, right? It's like who's going to open up the industry for you. And I want to say you can do it yourself, but I'm not going to lie, that took a lot of work, a lot of effort. I was very tired, and I also can't handle making a film independently and holding up a job and trying to support myself in the very expensive city of Cape Town. And trying to open up the industry by myself. And one of the things, Matthew, I feel like you'll be able to relate to this, but as an actor, you hear about 99 no's and maybe 1 yes in like a full, like a year of trying.
Yeah, I know that is the truth. But with that being said, you get that 99 no's, but it only takes that 1 yes. And guys, bear in mind that 1 yes can be in a matter of 10 years even. If I'm not mistaken, most of our South African actors, like established South African actors, are way over their 30s. So to get that 1 no is actually all that you need. But yeah, I know it. You get that no's, and that's the other thing. You have to keep on going. You mustn't let that be a setback for you. But rather than to motivate you to do your best and to do better at your next audition.
So basically, what you're saying is perseverance is what is needed in this industry.
Yes.
However, but then I will say people who are also in the industry, they say it's also difficult because you will get one job, and that one job will only be, you will have to still audition in order for you to get another job. So some people are saying they are not in for the open up the industry because it was also difficult for them to get into the industry. So what is your take on that, since you guys are the industry peeps?
I think that's a difficult one, because it is like everyone has worked so hard to get to where they are in the industry. And we don't want to say, oh, people should just be able to get in whatever and like study film and suddenly be a director. I think no one is saying that you don't have to work hard. What I think people are trying to say with open up the industry is that we need to give more people a chance. Like, there needs to be space for people who are making effort and constantly trying and trying. And I have seen some new people coming up in the industry. There are some up and comers that are doing amazingly. I know Wanda Banda is doing incredible stuff. She's in Netflix and Showmax and yeah, exactly. She's doing a lot. Tyler is a really good example of an industry woman who's gone up.
Ahmad Kamata. I would like to highlight Ahmad
Please
Kamata.
highlight, yes.
I also like what they did with, what's that show again?
Blood and Water.
Blood and Water.
Yeah.
It was fresh faces.
Yes.
It was a lot of fresh faces. And what I also liked was the inclusivity and the diversity, not only in terms of the talent, in also the back people, because the executive producer of Blood and Water is actually female. Nosipho Dumisa. I can't pronounce it surname.
Sorry, Nosipho.
Yes. But Nosipho Dumisa, yes. Yeah. She's female, and she's actually the one who's the executive producer of Blood and Water.
Amazing.
Nice.
Detective, can you please Google the executive producer of Blood and Water? We want to give her a giant shout out because that was incredible.
Yeah.
She really broke up the industry. She opened it up for a lot of new stories, I think, with what she did with Blood and Water. So just for a shout out, let's get her name up there and give a little praise. I wanted to ask you guys, do you have a favorite South African TV show? Because I don't know if I do, aside from maybe Blood and Water. Like, what have you guys seen recently from South Africa that you really, show, movie, anything?
I do watch Skim Sam. That's my favorite show because it's very
Classic.
relatable. But then when it comes to streaming, currently I was watching Blood Legacy, and what I will say, the acting there, the A-listers who are there, and I also saw some new faces. Buhle Khumalo was also there. She's very new. So I also like that as well. And also the diversity in terms of race. It was not only a black dominated or a white, there were also Indian people there. So I did enjoy Blood Legacy.
Very South African, very mixed.
Nice. I actually have two. So it's Gomorrah was my first one. It's not that recent,
Yes.
but I love me some Gomorrah. Rest in peace, my Sonto. And then obviously it's South Africa's Afrikaans first sitcom, Omasari, which I had the opportunity to start in as well.
Hello.
I must mention kudos to Omasari. I see the TikTok has pulled out the name, Ruth.
Let's see it. Okay, Nosipho Dumisa
Washing.
Washeng. Thank you so much.
She's an AFDA alumni, apparently.
Oh, wow. Okay, are we applying to AFDA now, guys? Google how much the fees are for AFDA. No, I'm joking. Don't do it.
Guys, also what I wanted to mention is, although we have a lot of gatekeepers in the industry, just to get back to the point, why I think it's necessary to share those opportunities with each other, because that will serve a longer purpose. For you that's currently in the industry, and yeah, it took so much work and effort to get there, but like, for how long are you going to be there? You can't gatekeep forever.
True.
So like, I think like, love that legacy on, give it to others, and like I said, longer purpose at the end of the day.
I did see a tweet somewhere. I was looking for open up the industry, and I saw a tweet where someone said, in South Africa, it feels like someone has to die in media, politics, film. It feels like someone has to die for there to be a space for a new person to come in.
I know, definitely.
Yeah.
What I also know, my favorite commentator, entertainment commentator, Film Pella, also said this. I don't know about Cape Town, but he said in Joburg there is like a cabal where you have to be liked by certain people in order for you to enter into the industry.
Yeah.
If those people do not like you, you're done. You're not going to make it. You are not going to make it.
It's all about connections. It's all about networking. Matthew did say that is the biggest tip that a lot of people give. I also got that tip a lot, was network.
So network is your worth.
Yep, network is your net worth.
network. What I also can say is, just not also networking, it's to be yourself.
Yeah.
When you do that, don't be too eager or too desperate when you get the opportunity to talk to these producers or directors. Just be your authentic self, and that alone also speaks volume.
Yeah, I think it's very important to highlight that. Actually, the most important thing about the industry, I think, about any industry, but especially being in the creative one, is to have a story to tell that no one has seen before. And the only way that you can do that is by being yourself. And it's by telling your own stories. Or maybe it can be someone else's story, but something that you've really researched and looked at and like worked on and poured your whole heart over, that needs to be something that people take into consideration, is you're telling your story. It's something special about you, where you come from, what you know, how you feel. And I think if we're going to talk about this on the podcast, then we have to encourage our listeners to constantly be yourself, work on your self-worth, work on your self-esteem, self-love. At the end of the day in the industry, you do have to network, yes, but you also have to be very self-assured, because all those no's can make you so insecure.
Definitely.
And I think it's important for you to really love yourself and know that no matter what, you're good, you got you, and that you can actually do this.
So guys, what is this? There's also this debate in the industry, talent versus skill.
Oh.
Yes. You can be skilled because you went to varsity, you studied media, you studied creative writing, but you're not quite good at it. But then you know everything about it. You know about writing, but you're not quite good at it. So what's happening? What's the balance? How do we balance that now?
Sure. Can I actually, before I forget, Jean, I don't want to step on nobody's toes who are qualified here. No, I'm also skilled and I'm talented by myself, because I think my acting talent is a God-given talent. But to say that, once again, most of our South African actors, and especially actors, aren't people who studied acting before. And those are the ones who actually is currently, but it doesn't necessarily have to say you can't go and bag those skills, because like I said before, the creative industry is so broad. Those skills will be needed, because there's not every time an acting job, but then you can get that
director.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
I think that is kind of the perfect balance, honestly, is there are people with talent and skill, like you said. There are people with skill and not all that much talent, but that doesn't mean that you're cut out of the industry, and everyone is talented in their own way. Please do not think that this is us saying that there are people there without talent. Everyone is talented in their own way, and I think what's important is knowing where to use that talent when you have the skill. So like you guys said, directing would be such a good thing. If you're really good at acting and you know how to do it and you have the skill, you know the methods, but maybe you're not the best actor yourself, maybe take that into a different direction. If you wanted to be an actor and people are saying no, maybe try and direct people. You know, there's always a different path that you can go through. The industry is very fluid. You can get your hands in a lot of pots. So I think it's important not to limit yourself. You know, you can always, if your talent is your skill, if your skill is your skill, if you're talented and skilled, if you are God themselves, you know, there's always going to be a place where you can put your talent in this place. There's just way too many different jobs in the industry.
I think that's what I like about this industry. Is there's no wrong in this industry. You can be anyone who you like. You can bring out this personality this day and that personality the other day. No one can fault you on that, and that's the great thing about the creative industry. Yeah, there is a dark side to it, and we're not going to delve into that.
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
But it's the fact that you can just be free and so like just yourself. Yeah, love it. Guys, can I actually, because Ruth mentioned Miss Tyler just a moment ago, what do you guys think, Sipho and Ruth, what do you guys think about her actual fame being started in America, or the American media were the people who brought her up to light, and she came from our town? Can we elaborate on that?
That's so disappointing. I'm one of those people who actually knew Tyler before she blew up. I remember her song "Baby." I knew her
Getting
before
late.
that.
Yeah,
Getting late.
yeah.
So it's quite disappointing that you get to be appreciated abroad instead of home, and when you only get recognition at home once you've already been big abroad. That's disappointing. But I think she's doing well. I heard now she's gonna headline the Victoria's Secret show recently.
And Miss Sailor is coming to Cape Town, guys, in December.
Who's coming to Cape Town?
Tyler.
Oh.
Yes.
Have you bought the tickets?
End of the month, guys.
I need to save, yeah. Payday. I think I love what she said. I agree. I think it is a little bit disappointing that we didn't give her all the recognition she deserved. I do want to say, though, I do think South Africans did give her, it's not that we didn't give her any recognition.
Yeah, no.
You know what I actually think it is? I think that in general, because of how the world is, we take American celebrities or people who are popular in America more seriously than we take our own celebrities. I think that's the problem. There are people who are giving her recognition. I know there were lots of people who were singing Water way before she went to America. We were living for it, loving it. I think the issue is because maybe as South Africa, we don't have as much, money as America does. It makes our industry seem, quote unquote, not as serious when it is,
And I also think it's because the American has like a mainstream media, that's actually where, or they would like to prefer, that's where media and creativity started actually. I think that's also why South Africans tend to make a big fuss and fuss about celebrities over on that side, where we actually, like you just said, we actually have our own people from our own local places. We don't even make a big fuss about them.
And
So can we say Tyler is a product of Open Up the Industry?
Oh,
she's definitely paving ways. Definitely.
Yes, Sipho, 100%. She opened up the industry for so many people. I agree. I do agree with that. And I think, it's really important to note what you said as well, Matthew. It seems like because they have the money, and look, I'm not hating on America. This is not a Hate America podcast. I'm just saying, because it seems like they have all that money, that it seems like media started there.
Yeah.
But I think we should recognize that as an African country, storytelling is in our blood. We are a storytelling country. We have so much talent for music, for singing, for acting, for dancing, we are a country of massive creative talent. And I think it's important that we recognize that whether or not we have the money the same way to showcase it, we're going to showcase it. And we need to pay attention to the people who are in our industry and who are famous in this country and give them that recognition. Because that's the only way we build up our own economy, is if we invest in our economy.
True.
while we're going back to open up the industry,
Let's
I'm going to
do
be
that.
the devil's advocate
Oh.
in terms of stakeholders, directors. If you were to, let's say, you're doing a production or something, would you rather take someone who's well known, who's skilled, who'll probably bring in the revenue, who'll probably bring in the views, or would you rather take someone who's unknown? Scoop Makatini mentioned that it's risky to take someone new, to take a new face in a show, whereas when you take an old face, it's guaranteed that the show will pop.
Yeah.
There will be money. There will be advertisement. So what is your take on that, guys?
I'm just gonna quickly say and hop into something. It's like years where my marketing brain comes in already again. Especially when you do a production, it's very important, and you're a new production company, it's very important to have that someone who is gonna put your show or that movie like on the big screens, right? But bear in mind, a movie doesn't consist of only one person. You can have a whole crew, and with merely that one famous person, you can introduce 10 new actors, and yeah, basically paving the way for them. So yeah and no, but no, I understand your question.
So what
totally.
you're basically saying that we should soft launch.
Yes.
I was literally about to say the same thing. If I was in that position, I would write another role into the script. I would just make up a new role so that I can have the fresh face and the rich face.
Yeah.
Just create another role in a script. I'll change the whole script if it means I can get like 10 new people in, like you said.
True.
Guys, I think we should round off this podcast just by talking about the fact that Ikasi is sort of we are umholi. What can we say? We advocate.
Yes.
Ikasi advocates for opening up the industry just by proxy of being the business that we are. Ikasi is focused on upskilling rural youth with film and television, like education accredited film and television diplomas. And I think it's really important just to continue to, like we said over this podcast, to invest in our own local economy. And I think that's what we do as a company. That's what we try to do. That's, what our goal is. And I think if you're listening to this and you didn't know about Ikasi, now you know, and you know what we're trying to do. And I think if you want to join, be part of it, open up the industry in your own way, there is space for you. DM us on Instagram, email us, go to our website. We are so excited for more engagement with you guys as listeners and with everyone in the creative industry. And I'm kind of grateful to be working in a corporate space where we're doing something important for the creative industry and for South African people, really rectifying lots of things that like rural people in rural areas not getting the attention that they need and for their talent as well. And we get to do that, and that's incredible.
I'm bridging the gap.
Yeah, bridging the gap.
Yes.
Yeah, we're lucky people.
Can I also just say by ending off by saying, coming from, I'm an alumni of Ikasi, and Ikasi was that one person who believed in me in comparison with the 99 no's. And it actually just took that one, in this example, organization, to believe in oneself, and look at me now.
Ooh. Yeah.
So Ikasi is doing the things, big things actually. If you don't know it, Google that name.
Yep.
Mr. Sipho?
All I can say is that I feel like there's still more that our industry has to do. There's still more work that needs to be done. But I think we are going the right path.
Yeah.
Going through the right path. And Ikasi, shout out to Ikasi, man.
Yeah.
You're doing the great work.
Yeah, I think we're all super grateful to be working there. Like you guys said, great work. And I think we're going to go super far. I'm excited.
Yes.
And I hope you guys as listeners are excited for this podcast, excited for the next episode. If you want to get involved somehow, some way, please DM us on Instagram, send us an email, get in touch whatever way you can. We want to hear from you, whether you liked it. Don't tell us you don't like it, just tell us you liked it. And we're just so excited for this going forward. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Sipho. Thank you, Matthew, Windake. And finally, I am Ruth, and I was your host for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to The Influence, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dot sense.